Shipping has always been important to the Great Lakes, and no city in our region is more connected to the movement of goods than Chicago. In this story, we take you to the Illinois International Port District, Chicago's Great Lakes port.
Chicago's shipping history began with the lakes and rivers, which were connected to the Mississippi by canals about a century ago. The railroads the city is known for were run to Chicago to connect with the waterways that were already vital shipping routes. Today, the Illinois International Port District handles about 16 million tons of inbound and outbound cargo annually in just about every way you can imagine. Clayton Harris III has been the port's executive director since 2016.
We're the greatest multimodal facility in North America, and we look at all modes of transportation outside of air here at the Illinois International Port District. So 6 of the 7 Class 1 railroads. We're looking at interconnectivity with 6 to 8 U.S. highways, interstates. And we're looking at 2 waterway systems. It's just awesome to be here.
The port itself includes 2 main sites where the Calumet River meets Lake Michigan.
Our Iroquois landing site is about 190 acres. This is at the southwest corner of Lake Michigan and the opening of the Calumet River. Then about 6 nautical miles southwest is our Lake Calumet facility.
Also on the shores of Lake Calumet is the port-owned Harborside International Golf Center.
The golf course used to be the city of Chicago's landfill, and once it was regulated and capped, they put a world-class golf course on it.
When you look at the port itself, you might not see what you're expecting.
I think a lot of people in their mind, when they close their eyes and they think of ports, they think of containers and a container port. We are not a container port. So if you were just to come here and to look at the port, you would see a lot of commodities on the ground, and people might not think that that is what a port looks like or that that's sexy. But really, when you see these commodities, what you're looking at, or what you should be able to see, is the economy growing.
Coal, cement, steel, salt, and lumber all move through the port. Enough volume to support over 6,000 jobs and almost $500 million in direct business revenue. But when you look around the port's facilities, what you see the most of is steel. Acres of steel in all shapes and sizes.
That's probably the largest commodity that we have coming in to the port is steel. That's kind of the bread and butter going to and through this region.
From the Chicago port, ships can travel through the Great Lakes and out the St. Lawrence Seaway to the Atlantic. But cargo can also come and go on barges through the Mississippi River.
We are a Great Lakes port, and we take in international ships that come to and through the Great Lakes, but we're also an inland rivers port, so we get a lot of barge traffic. And how that makes us unique is we can accept materials and commodities that still come up and connect to the Gulf of Mexico, so we can get the Panamax commodities that are coming through the Panama Canal that are coming up through the Gulf, because once they are offloaded and put onto barges and come up the Mississippi and ultimately the Illinois River, they can also come to our facilities. And how that helps us out on the Great Lakes is when the St. Lawrence Seaway shuts down and the other ports go down for those 2-3 months, depending on how long the winter lasts. Up here, we stay open because we can receive barge traffic all year long.
And, of course, since this is Chicago, the port also connects to rail lines stretching coast to coast.
We're also unique in this port where 6 of the 7 North American Class 1 railroads come into this port. And I don't think there's another port that has more independent rail lines that come in.
Cement, lumber, and steel from the port may have gone into your house, but there's one commodity the port deals with that might have gone into your mouth.
We bring in a lot of sugar into the Illinois International Port District, and that sugar is processed and then sent over to create Tootsie Roll. And we're very, very proud of Tootsie Rolls here in Chicago and Illinois, and I'd like to say anyone who's ever celebrated Halloween would feel the same way. So, you know, anyone who's enjoyed a Tootsie Roll, you're welcome.
For more from Great Lakes Now, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on social media.